My name is Mars and I'm not wearing makeup. Today I'm not wearing makeup because I want this to be a casual video. I'm not really in the mood to do anything super major, but I also didn't feel like not uploading at all. So I don't know what I'm gonna end up calling this, but basically I'm just gonna chit chat about my day yesterday and like show you some books I got yesterday. It's really just gonna be casual. I'm just gonna be talking. It's gonna be like more personal. So yesterday this fun thing happened where I went to the hospital. Nothing is, I don't want to say nothing's wrong because like, yeah, like they did tell me, they were like, hey, you have this thing, but it's easily fixed. Don't worry. Nothing life-threatening. I originally thought it was something very life-threatening. My friend, he skipped class to take me to the hospital. We went and they were like, yeah, it's fine. You're fine. Here's some antibiotics. You'll be okay. Really, I thought it was so much more life-threatening than it was. And I wasn't over-exaggerating, I don't think, just because it was like the signs I was having were something to worry about. But like, it was fine, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's hard like talking about it without going into too much detail, and I just don't really feel like going into too much detail. But basically I thought I was internally bleeding. I wasn't, which was good. But there was no way to tell if my signs were just, if it was like a false alarm. There was no way to tell. So I went to the hospital because I was scared. Thought I was dying. But I'm not dying. It's all good. I have antibiotics to fix the problem. And then so basically they told me that I shouldn't eat anything that was going to upset my insides. And my cafeteria at my lovely little school is just so good at giving people food poisoning, and they have nothing for my body to consume healthily. So my friend and I decided that since I went to the hospital and had an excuse to not go to class, we would just go out for lunch. But the fun part was that as I was coming back from the hospital, I had a presentation. And really, my presentation people texted me and were like, we're about to go up. I had told them I was going to the hospital. They didn't think I was just ditching them. But I was like, yeah, they were like, hey, we're about to go up right now. And I was like, oh, okay. Should I still come? And they didn't text me back. So I ran into the room and literally opened the door and made it in time for the presentation. I'm not kidding. Like, I walked in and it was my turn to go, pretty much. And then I did my part. And then I went up to the teacher and was like, hey, here's my like letter that says I was actually at the hospital. I wasn't lying. And then she was like, why are you here? What the fuck? And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll see you later. And then I just didn't go to class for the rest of the day. And so my friend and I went to Lemonade, which is this little restaurant. If you haven't heard of it, you probably have. It's not some secret place. It's a very popular chain, specifically in California. I'm not sure if they have it elsewhere, but they definitely have it in California. They probably do have it in other places. I just don't feel like Googling it. So that's what's up. And then, so we were on our way to Lemonade, and we had gotten off the bus and we were walking towards where it said Lemonade would be, but we weren't really checking the navigation. We ended up passing Lemonade, but we stumbled upon a bookstore, which was so fantastic. That was such a little gem. There's this place in San Francisco called Green Apple Books. I don't know if you've heard of it. I'm sure you have. And it's just this like bookstore that all the tourists go to. Now there's another Green Apple Books that is less known and much quieter, much more peaceful. That's the Green Apple Books we stumbled upon. So it was a great find for us. So we just decided that instead of rushing to lunch, we would just take a minute to be in the bookstore. And I'm gonna show you the books that I found at the bookstore. The first one is called Mars. I'm not making that shit up. It says my name. I mean, not that that's some phenomena. Mars is a planet. I'm aware that I'm not the only thing, not let alone person, on the planet named Mars. But I looked at it and I was like, oh, it says my name, how cute. So I picked it up and I actually ended up really liking the description. Normally I would read the description beforehand and look face to face at the camera and tell you what the description says. But really I'm just gonna, since it's a casual video, I'm just gonna read it off the back. It says, Mars showcases a series of twisted universes where every character is tasked with making sense of their strange reality. One woman will be freed from purgatory once she writes the perfect book. Another abides in a world devoid of physical contact. With wry prose and skewed humor, this debut collection from the Balkans explores 21st century promises of knowledge, freedom, and power. And I thought basically it's just a bunch of short stories about how there are weird things going on in different universes, and I thought that was pretty freaking cool, so I picked it up. It's an adult book, I'm pretty sure, so I'm straying away from my typical young adult literature. Not mad about it. I do like all kinds of books. The next book I picked up, which it has a boobie in it, so if you can't handle that, I'm letting you know now. It's called My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness. I've seen this book before once in the popular Green Apple books. I saw it again in the less popular Green Apple books, but my friend and I had previously been talking about how I was lonely. And then when he saw the book, he was like, oh my god, it's you. So I picked it up. So it's a graphic novel, which I'm really excited for. I literally am in the middle of On a Sunbeam, which if you heard me, it's actually right here, so I'll just show you. I'm not in the middle, I'm more like still kind of like, I mean, like it's a good chunk that I've gotten through, but I still have a good chunk left. I'm just in this mood where I'm skipping between a bunch of books for some reason. Like I did start Mars. Like, I know she did put the bookmark in when I bought it, so this one has a bookmark as well, but I haven't read it. It's very in the middle of the book. But this one is in the beginning of the book, so you know, I've read it, you know, because like me telling you I've read it, not credible. I'm just kidding. Totally a joke. Yeah, so then we went to Lemonade, and they were playing some 2012 jams inside of Lemonade, so my friend and I naturally were just having a singing competition while I ate my food. If you care, I had an herb grilled chicken, I think, and instead of mozzarella, I got avocado, because I don't like cheese. And then, I mean, I do like cheese, just, it doesn't like me, so we're just gonna not talk about it. And then, so after that, we just went to Target where I got some like little surprise boxes, which if you would like me to open some on my channel while I talk about books, I can do that, so let me know. And then I just opened them, and then I did homework, and then that was really my day. Right now I'm reading The Great Gatsby for class. This is like my third time reading it. If you want my opinion on it, I don't really like the book that much. It's kind of boring, a little bit overrated. I just don't care for it, if you want me to be honest with you. But I'm like, I kind of feel that way about a lot of classics. Like, I don't like Catcher in the Rye at all. I thought it was a really bland book. I thought it, oh my god, it was just kind of like, I appreciate certain themes that were in it, but I can't really stand how, I just can't hang with the whole, when the main character is like an asshole but for the purpose of learning. I just don't like following assholes in like literature. I don't like paying attention to assholes in literature. It just kind of, like, I don't want to deal with mean people, so why would I want to read about mean people as the main character? Like, I just don't typically enjoy that type of writing. But I do like Lord of the Flies, funnily enough. I loved Simon. Oh man, I loved Simon. And then my school did a play on Lord of the Flies, and I was student director, and we had a split cast. It was all girls and all guys, and both of the Simons are very good. Loved them. That was just a little fun fact that you didn't need to know. And I know this isn't like a super bookish video, but I thought it'd be fun to just sit down and like chit chat, and I hope you liked it. I know it was kind of short. I hate outros.